Happy Sunday, everybody. Today's March 1st, officially March. Let's go over every game happened on February 28th. The first game is the Blazers lost to the Hornets. The Hornets, they're just rolling every day, every game now. They're moving. They're still the 10th. I'm sorry, they're the ninth seed now, and they're marching toward that eighth spot. Only 2 games and 3 games behind the seventh and eighth seed, so they can definitely make a run. Just crazy how fast things change, because beginning of the season, they were not that good, and then they just picked it up. They blew out the Blazers, and they don't have. I know Blazers don't have their star player Danny Edvia. But everybody else pretty much played. Jeremy Grant is a must roster. He's balling right now, 21 points and 3 threes, averaging 20 points. Drew Holiday is having a great time. And Donovan came back, struggled a little bit, had 4 fouls in 26 minutes. And Robert Williams, off the bench had 17. Robert Williams is super, super consistent, giving you those defensive stats. So if you need steals and blocks, he's going to be a great stream in the playoffs. If everything is settled and you need to win blocks, he can be that difference. Like when you talk about points, rebound, assists, sometimes it's just you don't have. It's just very hard to get a player off the waiver wire and produce. Have like a 30-point game like your first and second round player. But Robert Williams can totally change the blocks category because he can just go out for 4 blocks. So monitor that. Tamani Carrara had 12 points. Okay, so playoffs comes around, like these guys are all droppable players for sure. Kamara, I think overall this year pretty disappointing in him. I think we had some high hopes for him. Maybe he will improve this year, but 177th ranked player, he's getting the minutes. It just he's not gonna get a lot of points or threes. So it's all about defensive stats. And he's not really getting all of them. He's not really improved. He hasn't really improved since last year. So this kind of disappointing. But next year, probably a guy we want to draft in the last few rounds, last 2 or 3 rounds, but definitely not worth drafting inside that top 100 because that's probably going to be his ceiling. And they just got so many guys on this team too. Charlotte Hornets, Canepo struggled a little bit, had 4 fouls, but still 3 steals, 2 threes, and 10 points. And 8 rebounds. I think I like that. LaMelo, even though he's not putting up crazy numbers, but he's playing. 15 points, 8 assists, 2 steals, and 2 threes. You can't complain too much. Brandon Miller hit 6 threes, 26 points. Great game here. And Diabate is a must roster, in my opinion. He's a team best plus 24. He is changing. It's not mostly because of him, but he definitely played a huge part, and the coaches love him. They're playing him huge minutes. Must roster. He could have a big finish. The next game is the Rockets. They lost to the Heat 105-115, and KD had a good game here. 32 points in 37 minutes, 2 blocks, 8 assists as well. But just wasn't enough. How about Emperor Şengün? He has completely fallen off. I know he got hurt in the last month. He's a 58th ranked player. I wouldn't say, he's that bad. He's actually hitting 71% from the free throw line. Getting the blocks, that kind of really saved him. 9 rebounds is good. 6.4 assists is really good. It's just the efficiency, 71% from the free throw line, 74% from the field. Taking 15 shots a game and only getting 17 points. He really struggled from scoring the ball perspective in the last month. But, still a lot of good assists and a lot of good, good steals and good blocks. It's the scoring. So, yeah, he keeps getting drafted in the second or third round on a per game basis. He's just never going to do that unless he improves his efficiency. And then you got so many other guys on this team. You have KD, and Fred VanVleet was out this entire year. So next year, definitely not draft him in early third. I think maybe there should be better options than him. Like best case scenario, I think he's a third round player. Unless he can improve his efficiency, I think. And of course, he can always like have a great year, just getting just incredible number of counting numbers. It's just very unlikely. Yeah. Reed Shepard 4 threes, 14 points. Reed Shepard, meanwhile, like next year he could be really good if actually I don't know if Fred is gonna be back. For him, it's really about the minutes. If he's getting 35 minutes, he's gonna give you 3 or 4 threes, which is big, right? 15 points, good efficiency, and he's gonna give you assists as well. Amen Thompson had an okay game here, but he was a minus 18. Tari Eason is a must roster, continues to put up great numbers: 11 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal, and 10 points, and 2 threes as well. For the Heat, Bam, great game offensively, 24 points, 11 rebounds, but missed a bunch of free throws. And Kawhi Ware, he actually find himself playing 28 minutes. Norman Powell, is going to be out for a couple more games, so maybe Kawhi Ware. And also Rockets, they play big. But definitely a guy in the playoffs, if you need rebounds, he's very consistent, giving you 8 to 9 rebounds. If you need that, definitely stream him. However, everything else, he's not even giving you that many blocks. And the minutes, obviously, game to game, some games he just play 15 minutes. So, but rebounds for sure, let's stream him. Tyler Hero finally got the start and finally played over 30 minutes, just 18 points here. But that's a good start. Devon Mitchell had 5 assists. If you need assists, he's the guy in the playoffs. Wiggins played all right, had 3 blocks, and oh my God, Pelle Larsson, he's been balling in the last month. Just super solid. Give you numbers across the board. Larsson in the last month, 97th ranked player, averaging 13 points, 4.6 rebound, 4.1 assists with 1.3 steals. So it's not huge. Like it's not like Cam Thomas, who he can go off for 25, 30 points. But every single night, he's giving you like pretty consistent numbers. So I like him. If you need efficiency and just some rebounds, some assists, some steals, like he could be an option in the playoffs. All right, move on to the next game. We have the Toronto Raptors beat the Washington Wizards 134-125. This is really funny season for the Wizards. For the Toronto Raptors, great game across the board. Emmanuel quickly had 27 points and 11 assists. It is versus the Wizards, but this is a great game. And, for the longest time, he wasn't getting 35 minutes. This game, he got 37, the most on the team, so that's great. RJ had 21 points. We only have him for points. That's it. Jacob Poeltl, now he's back, starting lineup. Had 6 fouls. Good to see him play and putting up some nice numbers. He's been, I would say, like this year has been disappointing for a guy that's getting drafted in the 5th or 6th round. He was out for a while, and whenever he was playing, he wasn't getting 30 minutes. So really good field goal guy, but in the modern NBA, you kind of want your center to shoot a little bit, to space the floor. And he obviously can't do that right now, and I don't know he will. It's not something he worked on over the summer either. Scotty, great game, okay game from Scotty, and Brandon Ingram just pretty average across the board, but added those defensive stats. Brandon Ingram this year, I thought, they're not gonna give him the ball as much, but actually his usage kind of stayed relatively the same, 54th ranked player. So beating his draft position a little bit. So, like what Brandon Ingram did this year. He did better than I thought. Move on to the next one. The Warriors. Well, they got destroyed by the Lakers, and they still don't have Steph Curry. Lakers, they're struggling in a major way. So this is a good win for them. If they can pick up a few wins, they can still be the 3rd seed. They're only 2 games behind the Rockets. So. Meanwhile, the Spurs, they won 11 straight. Oh, my goodness. So, yeah, the Lakers, if they get their shit together, they can still be the 3rd seed by the end of the season. However, Luka played, I think his 27th birthday, 26 points, 8 assists, a steal and a block, 4 threes is good. Austin Reeves, coming back from an injury, have to share all the usage with LeBron and Luka. He hasn't been... He's nowhere close to where he was beginning of the season, where he was a top 10 player. In the last month, He only played a few games. 64th ranked player, averaging 20 points and two threes. The efficiency is still great, and he's getting 1.2 steals, but the counting numbers are not really there. LeBron, 22 points. LeBron is putting up good numbers still. 22 points, 9 assists, 7 rebounds, and a steal, and 4 threes. And he's played a lot of games in the last month as well. LeBron, 79th ranked player, but he played 12 games in the last month, averaging a lot of assists, 8 assists, 20 points. So, putting up good numbers. Honestly, he's playing more games than I expected him to be. They got Luke Kennard. If Luke Kennard can be a more lockdown defender, that would be great. But offensively, he's gonna get a lot of wide open looks, and he's like one of the best 3-point shooters in the league. Hit 4 threes here. You can stream him for threes. And Jake LaRivia had 3 threes, 15 points. For the Warriors, not much to talk about. Just you can't really trust anybody. Like Moody played 29 minutes. That's great. 2 steals, 4 threes. He's super up and down. Gio Santos, I think he could be rostered, but even then, it's like how much value is he really giving you? He give you a little bit of everything, and maybe a little bit of efficiency, but yeah. Draymond played 24 minutes as well because of the blowout, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. In a playoff, Draymond is definitely don't hesitate to drop him. And DeAnthony Melton had 10 points and 2 threes. Podziemski had 7 rebounds. Podziemski could be rostered. Probably the guy. I like DeAnthony Melton the most. Have the most upside out of all these guys because he just get rack up defensive stats real quick. Podziemski probably have the highest floor because he just gets so many rebound assists. Although his shooting has been really up and down. And of course Porzingis is still out. Don't be hesitant to drop Porzingis as well because even when he played like 20 minutes. So let's see if he plays tomorrow. If your playoff starts next week, be ready to drop if he misses another game or two. The next game is the Pelicans. They beat Utah 115-105. Zion played 11 minutes just to keep the streak going, so that's great. At some point, they got to play some of the young guys. Herbert Jones, still giving him big minutes. Yeah, the concern is we haven't heard from Trey Murphy in a while. There's we don't know when he's gonna be back. So if you don't have an IR, you have to make some tough decisions. Or you do have an IR, but guys keep missing games. You gotta cut him loose. Especially at the playoffs. Look, you only have the next 2-3 weeks. So if he's gonna be out for 2 weeks, unless it's Jokic or Wembanyama, you gotta let them go. DeAndre Jordan, for whatever reason, they keep starting him and only giving Derrick Queen 19 minutes. So Queen is also not a must roster, just not enough minutes. And they're also playing Carlo, another big 25 minutes, who had a great game, a better game than Queen. 6 rebounds, 5 assists, still 2 blocks is better than Queen. We were a little bit excited that Devontae Murray came back, but of course he's gonna miss. So all these guys, they're just not much rosters. So if they're playing, sure, let's stream them. And oh my goodness, Jordan Poole has been disappointing this year. Just 15 minutes off the bench. And of course, who is balling on this team? Sadiq Bey, 24 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and 3 threes. He's the best fantasy player on this team, and he's still getting crazy amount of minutes and usage. So they're more than happy to just let him tank, but they still beat the Jazz because the Jazz. Yeah, Lauri Markkanen is a guy that I think you gotta think about if you haven't. If he's in an IR, think about dropping him. This because even you have an IR, because to be honest, he's gonna be out the next 2 weeks at least. If your playoff is 3 weeks, right? Best case scenario, you get 1 game or 2 out of him. Because he's gonna miss the back-to-backs. Whenever he plays, like Keontae George here, he's gonna play 20 minutes. So all that, like, how much value does he really have? Keontae George came back. Look, if Keontae George, they have some bullshit that he misses games, also don't be afraid to drop him, even though he had a great season. They're just not playing him 35 minutes like they used to in the beginning of the season. That's why I like Filipowski. Let's roster him. I like Ace Bailey, who had a steal and 3 blocks, 13 points, but I like him getting a lot of minutes, but he's not a great fantasy player. They play this guy Blake Hansen, who they just want to give some random guy minutes. They play Kevin Love 9 minutes. Bryce Sansabar could be, Isaiah Collier meanwhile still getting a huge amount of minutes. So yeah, he's putting up big numbers: 21 points, 7 assists, and 2 steals. Let's also roster him. And that's it, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.